Ring-a-ling. Hear them sing. Soon it'll be Christmas Day.
I play Christmas carols all year round. I love them.
I love Christmas. I love Christmas carols. Killer song, Sylvia says. I don't think they're talking about that though. I think they're talking about something else.
Oh dear.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Happy Thursday, Maki. Whoop whoop. You're gonna make me start coughing. So good to see you, Maki. Hope things are going well this week for you. Hi, Linda. Good to see you as well. What's that? Is that the dog?
Yeah, that's my puppy with the trachea problem.
Okay, he sounded like he was sneezing.
No.
There's
Laura and there's Margie.
Hey, Margie. Hello.
And there's KK.
Hey, KK. Happy. And Sylvia.
Then
hello,
the cook.
Sylvia. And there's Laura with all her jello. Oh, Laura, we missed you the other day when your internet was out. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. Oh, these pocket folios are so cute. You're gonna love them. You're gonna love them. Margie, want to go to sleep? Been up since yesterday. That's not good, Margie. Just hot and cranky. Yeah, is your AC still out? Oh, that's awful. That's awful. Yeah, wet cloth on the back of your neck and hot tea for Glynis and I.
My hot tea maker isn't home yet.
We're going to try not to laugh because laughing only makes us cough worse.
No making us laugh, you guys.
Really? That does not happen in this group. No, never, ever.
Great start.
Oh, yeah. My goodness. Yeah, great start. Sylvia, I am feeling a whole lot better. Thank you. I am feeling a whole lot better. Not gone yet. You can still hear the congestion in my head and this, stupid cough when I laugh and, the air hits my throat. It makes me cough, but actually I feel pretty darn good. So anyway, I am so excited. You probably all saw in the group or Glynis was kind enough to send out a message to everybody with the link. The new website, hppcreate.com. What it doesn't say on there, because I forgot to type it in that little box, and I'm going to add it, but then you didn't know because you didn't get it anyway, was when you add your email to the email list, then you get free digital masterboards. So it wasn't working, so you didn't get them anyway. So anybody who signs up now, it should be working. And I have to call Shopify back because there's a technical problem, but we're going to manually push them out to everybody who already signed up so that you can get them. These are the ones that I was going to put into Buy Me a Coffee. We looked at these before. There's four different ones. I was going to put them in Buy Me a Coffee. I decided not to put them in Buy Me a Coffee. I decided just to upload them to Shopify, and for everybody who puts their email in just to be part of the VIP waiting list is going to get them for free. So you will receive an email. When you put your email in there, you will receive a welcome email from me, and this will be attached as a download so that you can print all 4 of them as many times as you want. And I need to write up a whatever you call it, terms and conditions for my creations like that. But I don't care. You copy them and use them in any of your creations. If you sell those books, that's fine. If you give things away, that's fine. All I ask is don't pass the download on to someone else. Ask them to come over to hpp.com and put in their email and get them free for themselves. And don't sell the digital download. I'm giving it away for free. I don't want anybody else to sell it. So that's all. But use it however you want. Sell your creations. Can't wait to see what you make of them. A bun in the lap is worth 2 in the bush. Oh, no. I feel like I missed part of that conversation, Laura. Not exactly sure what that meant, but you know, I don't. Never mind. Oh boy. And Sylvia, Sylvia, we kind of sort of talked about it, or you talked about it. We haven't had a chance to really discuss it, but Sylvia and any others that are interested, if you're going, you guys are going to get the first option of sign up for the subscription box as soon as it's available, and everybody on the wait list will get it first. So what'll happen is an email will go out and it will say the subscription box is now available. Click here, it'll take you in, show you how much it is, you sign up if you want, that kind of thing. And then, so the email will say you are on the VIP list. It will be open to you only for probably 48 hours. And then it will be open to the general public. And that's because there will be a limited number of boxes. And I want to make sure that everybody who's on the VIP list gets first shot. And if there are none left after that, then it will not open to the public. If there are however many left, it will open to the public. And as soon as that's done, it will close. And then people will have the opportunity to join the wait list for when more become available. It will be a controlled increase, you know, adding so many each month or each quarter, so that it won't get out of hand. And I want to make sure that the service is top notch, you know, absolutely for you guys. So, but what I would really love is some recorded unboxings. So when you get your box, recording, unboxing it, showing the items and hearing your response. And so videos of that, and also pictures. So maybe you don't want to record that on a video, but maybe you want to take a picture of the items and write whatever you think about it, or take a picture using something or having used it. I would like to use some of those on the website and in the marketing from actual happy paper people. Also, I would love to have a spot with testimonials that have, you know, just a little blurb from happy paper people specifically. You guys have been, you're the core. You've been here, you know, the whole time we've been happy paper people. And so I would love to have, you know, just a few sentences from anybody. I mean, you know what kind of things I do with the sales. And if you have liked the sales in the past and the kind of products that I've offered, and the intent with the subscription box is just to, you know, amp that up just a little bit so that it's something very special. So any of those three things that you might want to participate in, a video or a picture or writing a testimonial, I would love to have any of you happy paper people do that. So, and I know Sylvia already offered that she would do a video unboxing, and I'm very excited. I would love to have that. So, dollar coins. What did you do? Oh, ready to throw my, she's throwing dollar coins. That cracks me up. It took me a minute, Margie. I'm still a little slow. So, okay, let's jump right into this. Somebody asked about Christmas in July, and it's July. And so everything we do in July, we might do it regular paper as well, but we're also going to do it Christmas. So we can do it all Christmas if you want, or you can do some of each. Hey, Judy. It's that. Hey. Oh, I remember. Is that dating us, Judy? I remember that. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so we made these awesome folios. I really love these folios. These are pretty darn cool. Everybody can make them. They're simple and they're fun and they're easy. Simple, easy, you know, same thing. And all we did, Glennis said, well, I want to make one in a miniature size. And I said, well, I wanted to. Been thinking about that. And so when we went live just randomly the other night, Glennis started just cutting and putting one together, and I sat down and figured out some dimensions. And so we've got the exact same thing here in a mini version. Is this not just the cutest thing ever? There's pockets, the same tucks, except this one, I'm going to give you an extra page in there for extra flips and tucks. And this is kind of a manly one. I thought I might make something for Doug with this one. It's got good grunge and metal tire tread. So here's a really pretty one. So this is the actual exact one we're going to do today, inside and all. So it's just like the large one, except it's got an extra flip flap up here. And there's the flip flap there. And I decided to show you something that I've been doing lately, and it's really making a difference with my scraps. Okay, so the one we did before just didn't have this. It had this pocket right here, and then it had this one on the inside. And because we're going to use one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, we have this one little piece left over. We're going to put that in here and make a second one. So we've just got more places to tuck or put pockets here, whatever we want to do. And I didn't totally deck this out. I wanted to leave it as the basic one so that we could all see. Well, there's a pocket there. So we could all see. I did close these with magnets. I'll show you how to do that if you want. You can close them with elastic or with string or with, any trim that you want. That would be cute on there too, that eyelash trim. So here's something that I've been doing a lot lately, and it's really, really helping with my scraps because I have several scrap bins. And I have one that I keep just with strips. And so when I make things like this, and I'm cutting off just little bits and pieces, like little tiny strips like that. And they're all still good. They're just little tiny strips. And so I've been grabbing, these are all small ones. I grabbed those. I have all sizes cut, but I did that on purpose because I was making these little ones. But I've been grabbing just tag blanks. They could be white, they could be craft, and I keep getting myself out of camera here, don't I? Let me see if I can, without making you sick, pull this up just a little bit. Because I can tell I'm a little tired and I'm laying my arms on the desk and then my hands get way up too high. So, and I cut up old file folders. When we did the tag blanks and the tag bases, a month or so ago, we went through a lot of that. Paper, Laura, this one, what paper is this one? This, hi, Julie. This one is a Bow Bunny, and I think it's called Felicity. I don't have the whole sets. I only have them as singles, but I do have more sheets of these singles. This is pretty with the pearls running across it. And then this is the back side of it. Actually, I took 2 scrap pieces. It was like a quarter of a page. I had 2/4 of a page. One side was this and one side was the pearls. And I cut up those 2/4 of a pages and did this entire folio and had the scraps. And so I've been just keeping these at my desk. And then when I make something, I did the same thing with this one. And I made some large tags and I made some small ones. Here, these are just the ones I've done probably this week. Every time I work on something, I have a stack of these and they're just all sizes, all different sizes based on whatever sizes of, white, craft, black, or file folder I have. And this one I didn't even cut tag corners. But where's my grungy ones? Oh, I must have already stuck them into the thing. Oh, well. Anyway, as I was making something and get to the end, so I did these last night, I had all these little bitty leftovers, so I grabbed some tiny tag blanks because I keep a bunch of those too to go in these little things. And then I just start gluing them. On. I'll probably do it today as we're going. And so you can see there's no rhyme or reason. All I do is look that everything has the same kind of color palette. And that's all it takes is the same kind of color palette. None of these are from the same. These happen to all be the same paper because that's from the same project. But as long as it has the same kind of color palette, at least as the one next to it, and you can see I love using branding strips. This one says Enchanted Garden. And that's a branding strip right there too. So as long as they have the same kind of color palette, then they will go just fine. And they make nice, sturdy tags. They're awesome. I really do like those a lot. So I can use the scraps to make tags to go in here and don't even need to cut up a bunch more paper. So let me move these two. I'll keep them in case we want reference, that one. And let's get this one out of the way. Okay, all you need to make this folio base is one piece of 8.5 by 11 paper. And I'm going to start out with a Christmas one. And even better than that, I have some random, really random Christmas, like one piece of this and one piece of that. And I'm going to try to use those. I figure it'll be easier to use those on these teeny tiny ones than on great big ones. So I want to give you, let's see, have I got a marker here? I do have a marker here. Okay, this is what you need to make this. You need 4 pieces of paper that are each 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And don't even worry about those dimensions because here's how you get it. You take one piece of 8.5 by 11 and you cut it in half. If it's 11 long, that means half of that is 5.5. So cut that in half. And then you're going to cut it in half again this way. So I can do one at a time. And if this is 8.5, half of that is 4 1/4. Now, Margie, I think, is the first one that made a teeny tiny one of these. And what were your dimensions, Margie? Were they the same as this? Pretty darn close. I'm pretty good, Julie. I'm getting better every day. Still congested. You can hear that, I know. But I feel pretty good. I'm feeling crusty dusty, Margie. So yeah, don't worry about the measurements of the first one. If you just take one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, cut it in quarters, now you've got 4 pieces. There's one folio right there. Okay, so yeah, Margie's measurements were the same. I don't know if she measured them so much as just cut it into quarters and went down. Hers was adorable. She actually put hers in the group too so that you can see pictures of it. Okay, so now we can get rid of the paper trimmer for a few minutes. And now you need your scoreboard. So we have 4 pieces of paper here. We need to score each one of them. And this is super simple. Okay, the first one, we're going to put it in horizontally so that your long, I don't know if it makes a difference which side is out or in. The long way goes left to right, so it's 5.5 inches long. And this is the first one. We're going to score it at 1.5. So 1.5. And then 4.5. Yeah, if you didn't see Margie's, go into the group and search Margie up at the top. And it's one of the most recent posts she put in. Hers was really adorable. Okay, so we did 4.5, and we're going to do 4 3/4. Remember that little gusset that's our spine on the sides? I need to get my TV on so I can see what you're seeing. I'm trying to check the glare there. So 1.5, 4.5, and 4 3/4. Let me turn my TV on while you are doing that. And then we're going to take the second piece of paper and we're going to score it exactly the same. I know this is so difficult. 1.5. I like it when things are the same. It's less for me to remember. Yeah, Margie just didn't use the 4 sheet. That's okay. I didn't on the first one either. And then I thought, I've got this 4th one hanging here, and we like more flips and flaps, so I'm just going to use it. Okay, and we want to mute that. Okay, 1.5, and then 4.5, and then 4 3/4. So the first one we scored. This is scoring sheet 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first square, not a square, first piece we scored at 1.5, at 4.5, and at 4 3/4. The second sheet we scored the same at 1.5, at 4.5, and at 4 3/4. Okay, so those two are identical. Now we have 2 more. So we're going to take the third one and we're going to score it right down the middle, which is 2 3/4. 2 3/4. So the third one we're going to score at 2 3/4. And then the fourth one, exactly the same, 2 3/4. So as far as measuring goes, it's super easy. You don't have to measure, but if you want it all to be the same size and fit together, you kind of have to. So we have 2 that are scored, 1 and 2 are scored the same, and 3 or 4 and 4 are scored the same. They're just scored right in half. Okay, let's get up on YouTube here. Oh, it says we're currently live. Yay! Imagine that. Okay, so let's move that one out of the way, and we don't need to score anymore. So I'm going to move the scoreboard for now. Okay, has everybody got their measurements? So you've got, who's making along with us today, by the way? Judy. Who's making along with us? Maki, are you making? So, yeah, Julie, I guess you weren't here at the very beginning, were you? We're mass making this cute little folio. Little pocket folio. And then we can mass make cute little tags with all our tiny little offcuts. That's kind of your limit, Margie. Okay, Sylvia's making. Laura's working. Okay, so I'll leave this sitting here for a minute. Actually, I need to move it out of my way. But if Judy, Judy, are you back? Do you need to write these down? If you do, go ahead. And then, whoops. Okay, I'm trying to get rid of that glare. And it's because I moved the mats off the desk. And it's really bugging me. So let's see if we can move this light just clear out of the way. I should have put another mat down. Okay, you got it. Thank you, Judy. Okay, so now we're going to put them together. Take the 2 that are folded in half, and we'll fold them in half. And if you still have a label on your paper, you can peel that off. And then we're going to set these 2 aside. These are the 2. I should have probably started with a craft one. That's kind of easier to see, the craft paper, than the black paper, isn't it? Okay, so now we've got the 2 that are scored at 1.5, at 4.5, and 4 3/4. So fold them on all of their scores. And we'll fold both of them. See, there's our 1.5, and there's our 4.5, and our 4 3/4. Okay, so now I've got those two sitting side by side. And I was just debating changing a step. I think I might do that. I'm going to change a step from how we did the big ones, because the one part that seemed confusing to people, I think maybe we can avoid it. Okay, so I've got those two, and I'm going to bring down the two that are folded in half and just set them in front of them. Okay, and I'm going to work with one at a time, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. No, no, Sylvia says. If you made the big one, then you know how to do this, Sylvia. And if you did, you can tell me if you think this is a little simpler to follow. And if not, then just do it the way we did it. Okay, I'm going to deal with one at a time. So I've got one that's got the 3 folds. Oops, wait a minute. We got a little blurry here. Let me check. Forgot to check the settings. What happened to our... We should not have blur. What happened there? It went away quickly, but that was a little strange. Okay. I'm going to take the one that is folded in half, and I'm going to put it inside this large fold and where it's going to make a pocket. Remember how that made a pocket? So I'm going to pick up the one that has the 3 scores, and all I'm going to do is put glue across the top of this little flap on the left and across the bottom of the little flap on the left, and then 1 bead right down the side just to give the bottom of that pocket some stability. And now I'm going to take the one that is folded in half, and I'm going to stick it right into that fold and lay that pocket down and press it down. Pop quizzes. This is a pop quiz, Laura. See if you can change your mind direction and do it this way instead of the way we did before. I'm just wondering if this might be a little bit easier. Maybe not, that you've already learned the other way. Okay, so did you get that one on there? And so now you've got a pocket here, and the big flap that's coming up. So we're just going to leave that folded, and lay that down. We're going to leave that flat. Okay. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other one. So I'm going to pick up the one with the 3 scores and put a little glue across the top, a little glue across the bottom, and 1 strip of glue down the side. And I'm going to pick up the one that's folded in half, stick it into that fold, that score mark there, and fold that pocket down on top of it. And then just press that down so that can seal up nicely.
And if you want to put a thumb thing in, put it in now.
Yeah, if you do want to put a thumb notch in, you should do it before you. I didn't put a thumb notch in because I didn't put anything that stays down inside. They're small pockets, and so everything sticks up outside of it to grab outside. But if you do want a thumb notch, definitely put it on before you glue it, for sure.
I just like the look of it.
Oh, I do too. That's a good point. Okay. Okay, so now we've got the second one with a pocket here, folded in half, just like the first one, right?
So my glue gave up the ghost.
Uh-oh.
I've got another bottle ready. I just have to...
Sylvia, did that work? Do you have these 2 pieces now? These 2 pieces glued together like that? Maki, are you making with us? Judy, are you making, or are you just writing down to do it later? Hopefully that made sense. But those who are doing it with us, I want to make sure that. Okay, so that worked, right, Sylvia? Okay, so now I've got the two standing here like this. Take the one on the left and open it up. Just open it up full. With the little tiny flap that has the gusset. This had the 4.5 and 4 3/4. That's, you know, our little side spine. That little gusset's on the right-hand side. So just open it up with that on the right-hand side, sticking up. Okay, Judy's making. Judy, are you with us? I hope I didn't go too fast. Okay, then we're going to take the second one and we're going to leave it folded in half. Just leave it folded in half, so right in front of you is the little pocket. Okay, so I didn't change it at all. I just picked it up. It's still folded in half. The little pocket is right in front. And then this piece is going to glue onto this little tiny flap right here. And you've got 2 score marks, so we want to make sure you can still bend it at both score marks. We don't want to cover a score mark. So I'm going to pick up this one with the little tiny piece, and I'm going to put some glue around the rectangle. I'm not going to get too close to the score mark because I don't want to glue on the score mark. And then I'm going to pick this up, and when I pick this up, it's folded in half, and the pocket is right in front of me. And I'm going to just set that right on top of that little flap. Just like that. And then you can set it down and push it down. You can bend this up. Make sure that you can still bend it at both of those score marks, so you haven't overlapped the score mark. That still bends there, so I'm good to go.
I got confused. Could you do that again?
Sure.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I think the black, I forgot about that, but the black is hard to see. It is hard to follow. I'm going to quickly do a craft one. So my 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, I'm cutting it in half. And then in half again the other direction. So that's 5.5 by 4 1/4.
You could probably just hold up the other one and show me, because I don't.
Okay.
Everybody else is
I was thinking that there were others that might.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
want
fine.
that too. So okay.
That happened.
Okay, so the first one I laid out all the way, and then the second one I picked it up, folded in half with the pocket in front, and set it on top of the back one. There's that little tiny flap right there. It's so hard to see on the black. I shouldn't have grabbed the black for the first. But there's that little tiny flap that is on the end. And I just set it on top of that, glued it right there so that I can still bend it at the first score. I can still bend it at the second score. And so in the end, I have this. Does that make sense? If you ink the edges, it also helps. Yes. And probably if I inked the black in pink or something. But I don't want to do that because it's Christmas. I do think that the craft is a little easier to follow. So let me just quickly score these. I'm going to score this one at 1.5 and at 4. And now I can't even see because my light's gone over there. 4.5 and 4 3/4. The second one is the same. 1.5. 4.5.
Laura says trace all the lines with a metallic marker.
4 3/4. And then I've got a Christmas one with metallic folds. This one is 2 3/4 right down the middle. And this one is 2 3/4 right down the middle. right, let me close this up before it dries up again. I've not been very good at closing it lately. Okay, so I'm folding the two that have 3 score marks. And I'm folding the other one. And I'm going to set them side by side on the desk. And then I'm going to take one that folds down the middle and set that in front of each one. So both of these are being put together identically. And then in the end, we connect the 2 halves together. Is this too small? Is this kind of small, Sylvia? You know, it's true. There's certain people find a certain sweet spot. They like them 6 inches or 4 inches or 2 inches or whatever it is that's you just find easier to work with for you, or that you like better. That's probably more like it. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up one that is folded 3 times, and I'm going to glue on the flap because I'm making a pocket with this flap across the top and bottom and down that side. And I'm going to use one that's folded in half to just set in there and push that down. And that makes my pocket. There's my pocket right there. Right there's a pocket. Okay, so this is the one that's folded in half. That was the other one behind it. And I stand it up now. It's one piece, but it's folded in half. We want to leave it folded in half. And let's do the same thing to this one. I'm going to hold it right here, put a little glue across the top, a little glue across the bottom, a little glue down the side, and slide this one in. Try to get it centered, press it down. Okay, and there we go. So now I have 2 identical pieces, right?
Yeah, that far I got.
Hi, Sarah. Oh, were you quarantined too? Oh, boy. Well, yeah, I feel for you, Sarah. I've been quarantined for the last 2 weeks.
Margie says she thinks this is a lot more easier than the way we did it before.
Margie, you do think this is easier? Oh, good. I was hoping it wasn't making it worse. Then if I go back and do it the other way, then people are really going to be confused. But I really thought it would be easier because now you have 2 identical pieces and you're only having to glue one thing together to bring the whole thing together. Okay, so we're going to take the one on the left and we're going to open it up and lay it out flat.
And the pocket is on the bottom then.
And the pocket is on the bottom now. And this is the little flap where there's 2 score marks. So it's that little gusset that is our side spine.
Okay.
Okay. So there's our little flap right there. So that little flap is where I'm going to put the glue. Let's just start with the glue. So I don't want to cross the score mark. I still want it to be able to fold on both of those score marks. So I'm going to put glue on that little flap.
Okay, flap glued.
Now I'm picking up the second one. Still folded in half. Pocket is in front.
Just what do you mean by the second one? By half.
I had 2 pieces side by side,
okay. Yep.
identical,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Yep.
So now this is the second one, the one on the right-hand side that was standing here. It's still folded in half. The pocket's on the front. Okay. It's still folded in half like that. Keep it folded in half. Just put my thumb on the pocket. The pocket's in front, that I know it's facing the right way. And I'm going to set that right on top of the place I just put glue.
Got it. Thank you.
You are welcome. And all I want to do is make sure that I come up to that score mark, but I don't cross that score mark. And I can do that just by folding this and making sure it still folds at the score mark, and it does. So I'm good. Okay. Let's see. Displaced Texan resists small. Cute idea. Somebody's got to do it big, Sylvia. Margie's doing it small. You got to do it big. Put the big next to the small. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier, doesn't it? I think it does. Taking the big piece and putting it next to that little tiny small piece. Now, if you take this piece and you fold it down, and then you take this one that's sticking out and you fold it accordion style. So first one fold it under because it's already creased that way. And the second one fold it up. Now fold the whole thing over. And there's your closure flap. And there's your folio. So you've got your spine on the left and your spine on the right.
Well, I measured something wrong. So it's operator error, but something is not working.
Okay. Is one of them bigger than the other?
Yes.
Taller?
Longer.
I'm going to put you on full screen. Show me.
Well, if I try and fold stuff and I fold here, it's a gap there. And if I turn it over, there's a gap here, a huge gap here.
Okay, open it up again. Let's see here. Okay, can you turn it around the direction that it was laying when you took the pocket and glued it to that little flap? How was that? Where's your little flap?
The top one is here.
Okay.
The little flap is under this pocket here.
I think you glued the little flap. Okay, let me. You can see it on YouTube, right? So.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to put it back on me.
Yep.
Here. Okay. So, if you lay it this way, so you've got a little flap right here on the right side. That's your closure.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one on the end?
Yep.
Okay. Then just one panel in. Do you have the one that stands up?
Yep.
Okay, so let's fold that one in half.
Yeah, that one folds fine.
Okay, and lay it down.
And that one when you open it, has a pocket, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's fine.
Okay, so now what do you have coming out to the left? Do you have 3 panels?
Yes.
Okay, so let me look at yours real quick while you're laying out that way. Okay, you've got 3 panels. Okay, so let's go back here where you can see on YouTube. The outside panel, the very far left one. Yep. Fold that one under. And now fold it over.
I'm still going to have this one.
Did you fold it under twice?
Yep.
Fold. Look. Let's see if you can see that on YouTube. Fold it under, and then
folded
fold
this
it
one
over.
under and this one under.
Okay. Let me go back and look at you. Okay, do it again. Show me from the left sitting out. Okay, that was under. Uh-huh.
And then fold this one under.
No. There you go. Back one. There you go. Fold that over. Fold that one over. Yes. Now, do you have, and will that one go?
I'm just changing my sizes as I'm doing this.
Yeah. Okay. So something just got scored in the wrong place.
Yeah. So it'll work. I can make it work.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of it. Like, you score it in the wrong place. They're still all the same size. You can just change the fold, change the score because you're going to put paper over it anyway.
Yeah.
So, yep, you got it. Okay. So, no problem.
And the first one folds really nicely. So that's the main thing.
Yeah. The biggest thing, I was wondering if when you glued it, it was turned around the other way. So because you should have one little accordion folded here and one little accordion folded here side by side.
No, I only have one accordion fold.
And then you fold one on top of the other and then have your closure like that. How are you guys doing? How, Sylvia, Judy, Maki, how are you guys doing? Did it make sense? Did you get it? Did it fold? Did it fold right? It'll make more sense when you get paper on top of it. Right now, it's just a whole bunch of the same color. No, Laura, I thought about that. Not even for a Christmas one. I thought about mixing 2 different colors of paper. That could be really pretty. If your paper on top goes with both of them. Okay, let me close up my glue. Margie, you keep forgetting to tell me.
Yeah, I only have one piece that's like, if I lay it out like this, there's only one piece that's sitting like this. Is that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the whole thing comes out, and you only have one piece that's flapped out.
Yeah.
And when you put that down, let's see, it's just showing up on YouTube now. Then the left really is also one that is coming out like that. It's just that it stretches all the way out. But if you look where that pocket, your pocket should be right here on the left. It's coming up on YouTube. The pocket should be right here on the left. And so it's
pockets on the back.
It's actually the exact same. So pocket here. It's actually the 2 of the exact same flap. And so this one lays down on that one. This one lays down on this one. And then the whole thing folds in half.
Yeah, I have a pocket here, and then I have a pocket on the back side.
Okay, I see what you did. Well, you just turned it upside down when you glued it on. No big deal.
Okay, now you
it'll work.
Waste any more time with me.
Yes, and no, you're fine. And Margie had the most gorgeous image on the front of hers and didn't want this flap to cover it, and so she took this flap and put it inside instead of on the outside. And then you can still put a closure around it. I thought that was really, really pretty because she did have a gorgeous face that didn't want to be covered. Here you go, Celia. And that's the funny part of it, is that no matter how you glue it on, you can still make it work. You do 2 parts and it helps you get to the end. Judy, did that help? Okay, Margie used magnets to close hers in the center. And, if you do it that way, you could put magnets on this side to hold it to that. And you could put magnets on this side to hold it to this. So the whole thing will stay closed. Or you don't have to put them on the underside. You could just put them on the outside. See, normally I put magnets here and it closes there. But if Margie, did you just put magnets on the outside here? And so it held it like that. I love that option. And then the whole thing is contained inside, but you see that beautiful image on the outside. I like that. Just 2. Okay, yeah. Okay, so do you guys want to see how to use magnets on them? Does anybody want to see how to use magnets, or do we just want to do it without? Okay, I've got, let's see. I've got these guys that'll go with this, and I've got some scraps that will go with the black. I'm trying to use these scraps of Christmas paper that I have. I also have some like Bo Bunny 6x6s. 6x6s are great because the images are smaller, and so they're perfect to put on these tiny ones. I'd like to use those up too because those are all small. But let's start with this. Magnets. Okay, Linda wants to see magnets, and Judy said she might have magnets. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, like always, is decide. Let me close this all up. I want to decide, what do I want to have on my front cover? I don't have a whole lot of choices here. I had this with the reindeer. They were tan, khaki, and red. And so these are just kind of coordinating khaki bases. And then this, oh, there's 2 there. Oh, I've got the little house and these guys. But I think that door would be cute, but I'll bet it's too big. But I wonder if I could just cut part of that door out and let it be Doesn't have to be that big, does it? Way to just cut right out of the middle of the paper, Marianne. Make good use of that paper. Well, that'll just give me more scraps to make little teeny tags, right? A window. Oh, I could do window. Let's see. A window with a little bit of brick on the bottom. It would actually get almost all the window and the brick. Yeah, I'll use a window. Okay. Okay, so now let me show you, I already figured out, so you don't have to, what size papers you're going to need to cover it. We'll turn this over. And I'll give you all of the dimensions, and then we can look at how you're going to choose, you know, what you want to use where. Okay, so we're going to need 4 pieces that are 4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. We're going to need 6 pieces. Let me hope that this is correct. Part of it's from memory. 4 by 2 1/2. We're going to need 4 pieces that are 4. They're all 4 because they're all 4 inches tall, right? By 1 1/4. I'm going to double check these as we go. And we're going to need 2 pieces that are 4 by, I'm going to put 5/8 inch plus because I push it just a little bit so it's not too skinny on those 2. And that's for the flap. That's for the inside and the outside of the flap right there. Let's see. Okay, so that is 3/4 inch. And so if I go 5/8, yeah, 5/8 plus, I'll just make it slightly bigger than 5/8, and that'll work just fine. Okay, so I don't want to just go cut randomly and get these though, because I do want to decide what do I want on the front. That's really the only, I think, the most important is what image do you want on the front, and maybe what do you want on the back. Other than that, everything else can be mix and match. Doesn't really matter. So the difference in these two, these panels, the back cover, so both sides of it, and the front cover, so both sides of it, are the largest piece. And then all the others are slightly smaller because they obviously fold up inside. So these that were cut or scored in half are going to be a little bit smaller. And so this one is scored in half. It's going to be a little bit smaller. And then you've got the strip of the pocket and the strip above the pocket and the strip of the pocket and the strip above the pocket. And then we've got the fold closure on the inside and the outside. Now, I've got glue all over my hands. If you want to round the corner of your cover, now's a good time to do it before you forget. You do not have to. I have some that are rounded and some that aren't. I like using the 1/4 inch, the smaller one, since it's just a smaller thing. And they're straight. I only round just those 2 right there, and then I'll round the piece that I put on the inside and the outside only on those 2 corners. But if I round them now, that reminds me when I cut those others to round them. Otherwise, I might forget, and then I go, darn it, I wanted to round those. Okay, so the front cover is one of the larger ones, so I know that this needs to be 4 by 2 3/4. So I want that window. Oops, I'm not turning that. I'm going to turn my piece of paper. And I know that it needs to be 4 inches tall. And if I go right to the edge there, I'm going to cut off the top of the window. I want to make sure that the whole window is on there. And so if I go right there, I can just get barely above the window and get quite a bit of the brick in as well. Okay, so I'm going to go that far. And I know that that is more than 2 3/4, so I'm going to cut that whole window out. I know I'm making some nice teeny tiny scraps. So I know it's the right height. It's 4 inches height. No, it's not. I need to cut off the bottom because I got the window in. Okay, so cut off the bottom. So now it's the right height. It's 4 inches high. I need it to be 2 3/4 inch wide. So, you know, this is how I'm measuring, but yet I'm not measuring. I don't want to get out. I hate getting out the ruler and figuring it out in the middle and making marks and doing all that. I really hate doing that. I love to just eyeball it. But also, you might want it really exactly centered. And I'm going to show you how I do that super easy without having to get out any measuring tools. So I know that I need this to be 2 3/4 inch wide, right? So my 2 3/4 is right here. So I'm going to take the image that I want to be, this is going to be my whole size. I'm going to take the image that I want to be in my piece that I cut, and I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to move it around and say, well, where do I want, you know, do I want that part? Well, no, I want the window to be centered. So I'm basically just going to center this window in between 2 3/4. Now, if I cut this off at 2 3/4, I'm going right down those diamonds. The diamonds are clear over here, so it's not centered. So if I move over here a little bit, now if I cut right here, I've still got the diamonds in. And if I cut right here, I've still got the diamonds in. Now I know it's centered without actually having to measure it and center it. So if I flip that around and just go 2 3/4, boom. Centered without having to do the measuring stuff. Okay, because I want this to be the front cover, I'm going to come over here and put it at the front cover. And I usually want to glue that one down so that it doesn't get accidentally mistaken and used for something else. In fact, I've found it easier to glue each one down as I cut them.
That's what I do.
Yeah, they're cut, they're glued, and I can see what I have left to still put on there. So fixing stuff we've messed up. Yes. Do something else over it. You know, there's lots of different ways to fix. It depends on what it is. And Laura, a lot of times it's just glue some more paper over it. But sometimes you can turn it into something completely different. Some of our coolest flippy flappy things have come from messing something up and ending up with something else, right, Glennis?
Or not following instructions.
Yeah. Okay, so if I'm going to use magnets, before I put the front cover on, I need to put my magnets down because I want them to be underneath here. So frequently I get going and forget or don't even think about the closure yet, and don't think about, you know, how am I going to put those, how am I going to close it? What do I want there? And I glue it down like this. And then I go, shoot, I forgot to put my magnets underneath. Well, Laura, the best solution in the world, glue something over it. There's a magnet under the snail, there's a magnet under the butterfly, and a magnet under the flower. This one was thick and it has a lot of stuff in it. It's heavy. And so there's actually 3 magnets in here. So yeah, it's always fixable, even the magnets. But there was another one. Oh, yeah, the Lady Vagabond. I did that. I did it on Lady Vagabond. Managed to get her with just one magnet, but I forgot to put the magnet underneath her. I wanted to make sure I didn't mess up and use this on some other page because I wanted her sitting here on the front cover. And so I glued it down and then went, well, crap, forgot to put the magnet down. So I put the magnet there, and then I found this. This was in her clear die cuts that was perfect, matches her belt, perfect little flower thingy. And this was one of the chipboard die cuts, put that on over it as well. And so there's a magnet underneath that flower. So yeah, even if you forget to put the magnet on underneath, it's okay. It's okay. All right. So I'm going to get these magnets to have on the website because I really, really like them, and I'm wanting to get them at a lower price. These are slightly larger. I think these are, yeah, I think these are probably on our our list in the group. These are, you can use these. They are just fine. They're super thin. I want to say that they're 1 millimeter by 8, if I remember right. But I have these that are even tinier. These are 1 by probably 4. They're about half the size. Teeny tiny. And I'm going to use these for these teeny tiny folios. So I also am going to do it the easy way. I'm going to first make sure that that's my front cover. That's my front cover. So I don't put it on the wrong place. Okay. And I'm going to try not to squish it, but set it where it's going to be when it's folded nicely. And I know I'm going to put a piece of paper over this. So I'm just putting a little mark as to how far out the flap goes to set my magnet. And then I'm going to set this down kind of flat because it's a whole lot easier to work with. Okay. And then notice I'm hanging on to this because I lose them. And now I don't want it where the flap goes. I want it like halfway in between. So I'm just going to put a little dab of glue, maybe. See, I waited too long to put my pin in there. Little dab will do you, but you got to get it to come out first. There we go. That's a big dab, but it's got a bubble in it. So, okay. And then I'm going to set this magnet on top of that. And where exactly it is doesn't really matter a whole bunch. It only matters on the second one so that they go together, right? I'm going to use 2 magnets just because if I get all excited and stuff it full of stuff, then it has a lot of pressure inside of it because it's stuffed full of stuff. And 2 magnets holds it a little bit better. But if it's not going to be completely stuffed full of stuff, like the Lady Vagabond one, I only have 1. I put one of these on it, and there's just one magnet on it. So 2 is not necessary. But sometimes these teeny tiny cute things, I get, overzealous and overstuff them. So I'm going to lay that one down there. Okay. And they don't even have to be exactly in line with each other. I just want to make sure that they're not going to come to the edge of the paper, but they're far enough away from this edge that they're going to hold the whole thing, All right, so here's my window that's going on top of here. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue all the way around it and just put it right down on top of these magnets. And I've done magnets several different ways. I mean, as far as, lining it up, this one with the one that's going to be on the flap and making sure that they're all in line. And I don't know, sometimes one way seems easier than another, and another time, another day, a different way will seem easier. So I don't know if it's really easier, if it's just my coordination that day. Shoot. A little farther over. Yeah, it's in the baggie. Second on the right-hand side. There's nuts. Oh, maybe I put it in with the cheese drawer.
Laura, I am not corner punching over a glued piece. I am not.
Hi, Sheila. Yeah, you're not getting your corner punch all stickied up?
No.
I hate that. My scissors and my corner punches.
Well, I have a separate pair of scissors I use just for wet glue. But my corner punch, my good one that she gave me, is not very glued. I do too, Glynis, but half the time I don't reach for the sticky ones. You know what I didn't do? And I hope that this is what I didn't do is just double check myself to make sure I had it right side up before I put that front page down. So I did. I remembered.
Oh, good. There it is. Okay, that'll work. Whew. I always do that every single page because, it's easy to be moving this around to get to something and then it's upside down. And then I end up with things going both directions. Okay, so I want to do the rest of the ones that are going to be 4 by 2 3/4. Let me do them all at the same time, get them all done out of the way. That was 1. And so I know the opposite side of that is going to be 1. And then I know the back cover inside and out is 2 3/4. So I need 3 more that are 4 by 2 3/4. Let's set those for a minute, get them out of the way. And let me cut 3 more that are 4 by 2 3/4. Let's see. So that was a house. I could put another, window on the back. But let's see.
I have another comment to make.
Okay.
If you're like me and you're doing one of these closures, I forget what they're called.
Let me get you up here on the screen. Oh, the ones with the little circles.
Yeah. Cut your 3 circles and glue them together so they're drying while you're doing everything else.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Hi, Bonnie. Good to see you.
You can take it off me now.
It's okay. Let's go back to this one. There we go. We still have you over there on the side, and so I can see.
Okay.
Maybe one of these I could make be the back cover. This cute little snowman with happy holidays where it says to and from. I can just paste something there later. How about that? It's kind of not tall enough. What's on the back of that? All right, so I'm going to go then to I'm trying to use up these scraps. That's what I'm trying to do. I didn't want to open up a whole nother Christmas pack until I use up these scraps. So I'm going to grab one of these coordinating pieces, and I'm going to put a coordinating one on the back, because then I can put a pocket or a belly band or a decoration on top of that, which is just pretty neutral. So I think I will, I'll just use this one. It's right here. It's a good neutral one that I can put something on top of. Okay, so 4 by 2 3/4. I will cut this off because I like to get the little perforated edges off so that that's straight. All right, so 4 by 2 3/4. And that one is going to go on the back. Okay, and then I could put a cute little reindeer head or something on it later. All right, that'll work. So let's glue this one down quickly. So a lot of you have been in already and put your emails in at hppcreate.com. I'm excited. One of the other things that I'm in the process of setting up, and that should be done maybe even by Saturday night when we do Saturday Night Live. I'm hoping to have something new to tell you every single time we get together, as this is starting to come together. But I'm hoping by Saturday that the next thing will be a place that you can put in your phone number. I personally check phone number or check texts a lot more frequently than I check emails. So there's certain things I would like to text rather than to my email. But you can put in your phone number, and every time we're going to go live or we have an event, I will send out a text message. So it will just text you, hey, we're going live in 10 minutes or whatever it is. You know, it's Mass Make, it's Monday Jumpstart, Saturday Night Live, whatever it is. And then we won't have to do the whole group thing that poor Glennis keeps on top of. She's so good about it.
She's trying to take my job away from me.
No, I'd rather give you a different job. But I know a lot of people don't like getting group messages. And
yes,
if people respond to them, then everybody gets the response. And so the text would come to you individually, not include anybody else. And you can respond to that text if you needed to send me a message or something, but everybody else wouldn't get your response.
Yes, some people definitely do not like getting.
Yes. And I totally understand that. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so we've got our front and back cover. Yeah, that color's not even matching. We're gonna have to put some reindeer or something on this one. It needs something. All right, now we've got two more that are going to be 4 by 2 3/4, and that is this one and this one. So these two insides. All right, so let's do some reindeer faces. Two 3/4. Let's see, we'll go this way. So yeah, I'm hoping to have that one set up by Saturday, so I can tell you that you can go in there and just put your text or your phone number in for those texts. And it won't be marketing texts. It won't be, like mass text lists. I'm not ever going to sell text lists or email lists. It is strictly a me to you, happy paper people thing. If we're going live or we have a big event or whatever, we're doing, to be able to get that text alert or text notification as opposed to the group messages. I know, Sylvia, actually 21st century. It's kind of funny. Us old gals can do a few things, right? May take us a few extra minutes to learn. I'm telling you, I feel like I've had COVID brain for the last 2 weeks, and all of this has taken me a lot longer, been a lot harder than my brain should have to work, but that's okay.
Yeah, I plan on staying in the 20th century as long as possible. Heck with anything else.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, Laura, my journals would go faster if I stopped putting so much stuff into. I know, but it's hard to stop when I flip through and you see an empty page or an empty pocket, or there's only one thing in that pocket. It can hold another one. I'm with you, Laura. I am totally with you.
It's a requirement. Nothing should go unfilled.
I agree. I love them. I love every single page having something to pull out or flip up or flap over or, hidden behind something. Okay, so this is my fourth one that is 2 3/4. Oops. Gluing down the side of my hand instead of the paper. And then we will need 6 that are 4 by 2 1/2. Okay, and so they are for the next size down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and those will all be folded in half. Okay, so let's put reindeer heads here. Wherever I put the reindeer heads. Oh, up here. Okay, these are 2 1/2 by 4. That's 2 3/4, so I can cut that down. Let me just finish cutting that up. Okay, so 4 by 2 1/2. That one can go here. And this is also a great way to use single-sided scrapbook paper or cardstock. I always make sure I use cardstock for the base. So then it doesn't matter whether I use cardstock or scrapbook paper to decorate it. And if you're like me and you've got a ton and more than one scrap bin, because these are the largest piece that you need to decorate is 4 by 2 3/4. And you only need 4 of those. It is really easy to dig into your scrap bin and find pieces to decorate these with. So it's a great way to use the larger scraps. I have to keep double checking my measurement, 2 1/2. great way to use up larger scraps. And on all, all I really do, it's just like making those tags that we were just looking at. Just make sure that the paper, the colors coordinate. They don't have to be from the same paper pack. Just as long as they coordinate, because I end up with a piece of this left and a piece of that left. And as long as they're in the same color realm, like these guys, none of these came together. These are all leftover odds and ends pieces of paper, but they're all going to work just fine. Okay, so one here, one here. All right, so let me go back here and look at this when it's closed. Okay, when I open it up, that's the first thing I'll see. I'd like to put some reindeer right there. So 2.5. Oh, bless you.
Oh, yeah, my puppy. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, don't be sorry. It sounds so cute, but then I feel bad.
No, she's not. She's fine. She's healthy.
Okay.
She just makes this noise all the time.
Just sounds like she's sneezing. That's all. Okay. So I open it up. That's the first one I'm going to see. I'm going to put some reindeer right there because they're awfully cute.
I mean, I have to craft with 2 cats and a puppy. It's required.
Have to. Yeah, I was going to say, that's a tough job, huh? Right. Once you do one of these, they really go fast. To take the 8.5 by 11, cut it into quarters, score it, and put that together is super fast. And then you can just start cutting up your paper and putting it on. Okay, and let's see. So I'll open that up, see that, and then flip to that one. So the reindeer there. So how about reindeer right here? And then that'll work. All right, so another 2.5. I am trying to strategically use these reindeer so they're not everywhere, but they're the only one that really has, besides that house, has a picture of, something. And so I'm
Okay. My
trying
pockets and tags, everything is done. I'm just ready to put my tags in now.
Oh, nice. Nice. Did you make tags? Did you have some tags to cut out? Did you?
I had some tags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. I do have some sheets that have little Christmas tags that could be cut out.
Yeah, mine, I think are minted. I'm not sure, but they're little tags that I've cut out.
Cool. I don't use them for anything else. So
got 1, 2.
Oh, come on.
3 bottom pockets. 1, 2, 3 corner pockets, and 1, 2, 3 belly bands.
Nice. Here, let me flip it over and you can show them. There you go.
This is my front cover. Line. Oh,
pretty. I like that.
And the closure is going to be on this side. The Santa Claus. So I've got a pocket, and this is a side pocket we did, and a corner pocket.
Yep, like that.
Belly band, and another pocket. This is the other pocket we did, and a belly band.
Nice.
2 corner pockets, and the bottom pocket.
Nice.
That one's ready to fill.
Perfect. These are small enough that you can stick them inside of a larger journal, or these are cute ones for stocking stuffers. And in one of the pockets or tuck spots, you could put a little gift card if you wanted. And stick it in the stocking, and there's a whole gift.
That's a good idea. I like that idea.
Handing somebody a gift card, they get a whole little folio and fun finding the gift card. That's the fun. Opening up everything and finding it. Okay, one more large one over here. Okay, and that one needs to be background. Let's see, that's exactly 4 by 2.5. Perfect. Let's see here.
Okay, next one.
I'm going to catch up on comments. Maybe go, Margie, maybe a good thing for a Christmas card. once made small journals as Christmas cards, so why not? I love the idea. Who doesn't love getting a miniature something at Christmas? And, you know, everybody loves a gift card, especially, you know, there's so many people that are hard to buy for, and a gift card, they can go get what they want, but boring to just hand them a plain old gift card or even put it in an envelope. Make them a little folio or something and stick it in one of the things, so they have to go through it and see all the parts and pieces and flips and flaps and pull stuff out, and then they get a little gift card. Let's see. Yeah, they like your cover. I like your cover too. It is very nice. Well, let's see. Would a gift card fit? Would a gift card fit? If not, then we would make a belly band that would fit it. Let's find out. Surely I do. I just happen to have a Sizzler gift card right here. So let's see. Where are look at that. Gift card fits perfectly. Yep, fits absolutely perfectly. And on some of these, I will put a pocket across the bottom. You could stick it into that one too.
Yeah, I like these because they can go in a pocket, they can go in a tuck, they can go in a little sack. They're just so versatile.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot in a small amount of space with these. That's what I like. They're teeny tiny, but there's a lot there. Okay, so let's see. Have I got all my large surfaces covered? I do. So now I have the pocket and the piece above it, and the pocket and the piece above it. All right. Let's see what. So how about, I'm looking at what strips are already kind of cut here to see if I can use some of these offcuts, but they're going to need to be 4 inches tall, so those won't work.
So I think for the small size, the rest of the ones I'm going to make, I won't put that extra sheet in because it is a little bulky for this size.
So yeah, if you can leave out that 4th piece, which is this one, and then just glue this pocket down to that one. Depends on how much stuff you want to stuff inside and what you want to do with it. You know, it could very easily be too bulky. Okay, so now I need 4 that are 4 by 1 1/4. Let's see, I'm going to start out with this at 4. So let's do that. And now I want a 1 1/4. And that will go on a pocket. All right. And then let's see, what other small, this one needs to be 4 by 1. Is that 1 1/4, I think, also? Yep. 4 by 1 1/4. And that can go right there. I can go back and embellish this with little red Christmas things all over these neutral. That will be fun. Okay. And then one over here. So this one is 4 by 1 1/4. I'll put the reindeer there next to the house. 4 by 1 1/4. I'm going to end up cutting some reindeer faces in half, but couldn't be helped. Sorry, reindeer. Okay. Oh, should have checked the length. It's almost a little tiny bit too long. All right, and one more. That is 4 by 1 1/4. Get that one. 4 by 1 1/4. Let me check some comments here. Got to get your Christmas scraps out and cardstock and get started. Yeah, after you make a list. Oh, man. Well, yeah, it is kind of fun to get things started for Christmas in July, because if I get a bunch of it out of the way, then I don't start panicking about October. Get really busy with things that are going on in the fall, and you're going to need a whole bunch of time to do it, and I just don't have a whole bunch of time then. So I really do like planning way ahead. Already feeling holiday pressure, Sylvia. I was going to alter some Christmas journals. Laundry currently sounds like it'll be easier to accomplish. Oh, no. Christmas love the picnic. Could I see the paper measurements, please? Absolutely. This one, Margie? Or did you want you want these? This is what we started out with. 4 that are 4.5 by 4 1/4 by 5.5. And this is where we scored them. And then this is the paper measurements to glue. I have a feeling you only needed this, right? To glue on there. Okay, so let's see. So what I've got left now, sorry, Margie, I keep getting in your way. What I've got left is the flap. The front end inside of the flap. And remember, we need magnets to meet with those two. So these, let's see, these are the two that are 4 inches tall by 5/8 inch plus. Yeah, it's like halfway between. Let me see here. There's 5/8 inch. 5/8 inch, a healthy 5/8 inch. That's Glynis. Doug's waving hi to everybody from the door.
Hi, Doug. See ya.
Good to see you.
Good to be seen.
Okay, what do I want to be I think maybe the reindeer would be cute on the outside. What do you think? And let's see if maybe we can get a whole reindeer face in there. We know that's only 5/8 inch. Which is, this doesn't even measure to let's see, that's a half right there. And I know it needs to be a healthy 5/8. I'm going to cut it more like 3/4 because I'd rather trim off a tiny bit than be a tiny bit short. And let's see if we can get some little faces in there. That works. Okay, so make that at 4 inches. All right, first thing I'm going to do is round these 2 corners so I don't forget. I'll tell him that he just ran out. He just stopped at the door, quick waved hi and ran out the door. So I'll tell him y'all said hi. He's trying not to interrupt. But I don't really mind. I know you guys don't mind. Okay, so this is going to be the outside. Now I can see I cut it a little bit large because I wanted to make sure it fit, and I should have checked that before I rounded the corners, because if I take some off, I'd probably want to take it off of that side so I can keep those cute little faces on there. That doesn't look like 4 tall. It is. Wow. All right, so I'm going to take a tiny bit off this edge. And then I'm going to round the corners again because I forgot to check it before I rounded. Okay. Now I'm going to...
If you will excuse my voice, I'm going to read something Laura sent.
Okay.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the craft room so delightful. So if you're no place to go, make Christmas Folio.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome, Laura. Make a Christmas folio.
Yeah, well, your voice sounds better.
No, I'll start. I can't do any more than that or I'll start coughing.
Oh, but I had to let you hear that.
That's cute.
I could hear it in my head.
Yep. That is super cute. She's so creative that way. Can always count on good songs from Margie and Laura. Okay, so it's all ready except for the inside of the flap. And I know I need magnets there to coordinate with these magnets. So what am I going to put on the inside? First, I'm going to put the pin back in the glue because I just keep leaving it out.
It's okay. I can't find my top, so I'm just leaving mine off for now.
Man.
It's
Okay.
somewhere in here.
Let's see. I could put reindeer on there too, but what about some stripes? That looks like it might be almost the exact right size. It's 4 tall, and it's probably just a hair too wide. So if we trim off just a hair or two. Okay, and then I'm going to round 2 corners. It didn't really matter which 2 because it's, non-directional. Of course, it matters which way I place it, though. Duh. Okay, so the 2 rounded corners go with the 2 outside rounded corners. All right, so now where did our little... Let me move this guy over here. I'm going to try to just open these, get them out of the way for now, although I'm going to need the front one. All right, so like I said, I've put these on several different ways. And honestly, I found the easy way that might drive some of you crazy. The easy way is the non-measuring, just do it way. Because I have measured exactly where they are and how far away they are and put them down. And it just ends up making more of a mess than it was. So here's what I found. So if this is going to go right here, and this is going to come over here like that. Okay, this is going to be right here. I need to line it up top to bottom because it is the right height. I need to set something heavy on here to keep this weighted down. Oh, not heavy enough. This will work. Yeah, I want to keep that down. All right, so I need 2 magnets. One, I can just drop it right here, and it's going to grab hold of that one. So that's exactly where it should go. And 2, sometimes I have to make sure that I only get 1 because they're so thin, it's easy for 2 to come off together. Okay. Drop it right down. That's exactly where it should go. Now, I make sure that I've got it lined up top to bottom, and I do not. I moved it. So top to bottom, it's lined up. And I can move the magnets, and they're going to go back to where they need to be. Even if I move them to the side, they're going to come right back. So I don't have to worry about are the magnets in the right place. They just keep going to my pencil. Okay, so if I've got this lined up top to the bottom, but now I want to make sure it's lined up left to right, because if I glue it on here and it's too far out, then I'm going to have a big gap here. Or if it's too far in, I might be inside. You know what I mean? I want just a little bit of edging just like that. So all I did was take this and fold up my spine and close the top down and look at where I'm looking down the side. I'm looking down the side here. Where is it going to end up being? And I'm trying to hold it loosely. So when it's just magnet down and I'm not squishing it, where's it going to be? And I can see the edge of that paper all the way out here. So it's not in far enough. So all I need to do is move this paper a little bit farther that way. I know this is the non-scientific, non-measuring, but works every time I do it. Put it like that. Still a little too close to the edge. I usually just go tiny bit at a time so I don't end up having to come back. But it usually ends up being right at the edge or even a tiny bit over this edge. Ends up being just right.
Bonnie would like to know when the next sale is.
Oh, that's a very good question, Bonnie. We talked about doing Christmas in July, and I've got Christmas stuff all set aside. I do think that we might need to do a sale in July. I would like to. I miss it.
I miss it too.
Yeah, that's just a fun time with you guys. Let me talk with the sales team and see when they're all available to do one. Okay, so now all I'm going to do, I can double check myself. I pushed it up here all the way and I push that down. I'm not squishing it, but just laying it kind of gently so I can see where the paper's going to end up. Okay. I can go back here and I'm going to put some glue on the two magnets. And then I'm going to put some glue on a piece of paper. And it's not moving because the magnets are holding it right in place. I do have the new Stamperia on the way. It'll be here in a couple of days. The new winter releases, the first winter release is on its way. Okay, so now I want to make sure
Margie says she would show you an easier way if she was there.
that
We need Margie on live.
Yes, we do. This is about the third or fourth different way that I've done it, and I don't have to go through all this as I'm telling you. It's just much faster when I just do it. But it just, I don't know, it just like seemed easy and worked every time, super fast. Okay, now I can pick that up and I can straighten up the paper any little bit if I need to. But look at that. Look how perfectly placed the paper is. It doesn't take that long because I'm not talking through it as I'm walking through it, just doing it. But yeah, done it a couple of different ways. So it might be easier to do it the opposite and put these on first, put those on here, and then put them over, glue them down. And once they're set, pull this up and then put this piece down on top of it. Is that what you do, Margie? It's just doing the small piece first. Same concept, but honestly, it's probably easier to do it that way. Magnets are go home gnomes. Okay, Margie, you'll have to call me and see if you can walk me through it or talk me through it. Okay, so there we are. Literally, there's the folio, but it's a lot of khaki color and not enough bright Christmas at this moment. So, oh, you poor thing. We can go on and make more, or we could take some of these things and we can use some of these to embellish it and decorate it. Like all of these would make cute pockets. Just cute pockets along bottom. Oh, this guy would be cute. Little Santa ho ho ho.
put something there. That Mary would be cute. You know what? I'm gonna pull out my large trimmer. I'm gonna cut all these up, and I'm gonna use them to make pockets and belly bands. I think I need to put some bright red here, and maybe some green, maybe some mistletoe or holly, and then fill those up. What I want to do is take these scraps, because I really hate having a gazillion little tiny scraps. I have containers full of strips, and I just have a hard time just throwing them away because they're good. They're good. They're usable. They're cute paper. So here we have, this is for a tiny. So let me grab a couple of tiny tags. Let's see here. Those might be too wide. That's what I got. There we go. Okay, so I'll use a lot of these up really fast. And sometimes I even cut the scraps down if they're too fat. Like I have a little square. I'm not going to put that whole square on there, but I can cut that into a couple of strips and use the whole thing up. Let's see here. I'm just going to start right there. So the only thing that you really need to keep in mind, these are all kind of the same width, aren't they? I like them when they're all different widths. I might have to make some thinner. And let's see here. So cut my fingers.
No blood and guts.
Nope. Okay, so the only thing that you have to remember is to make sure when you put one down, I'll do the next one and show you. It's easy to miss, and then the end you go, what? I got a big old gap there. Let's see. First, I have to check it and make sure that it will go all the way across, and it will. Make sure it's long enough. And then when I put this on, I can't line this bottom corner up with the edge of the tag right here, because look at that big gap on the bottom. You have to make sure that the top corner, look at that, there's still going to be a big gap. You have to make sure that the top corner of your piece of paper is below the tag so that it will completely cover the tag. Here we go. Okay, so this is how I do it. And I can whip these out no time and use up a whole bunch of little strip scraps. And then I don't feel bad throwing away just a few random. But just make sure that the edges of the tag are covered where you have corners, because it's real easy for them to stick out. It's got to be something other than the exact same. These are all the exact same one. Something different there. I'm really not even crazy about that one. I like the back of it, but oh well. That just means I'll put something over it on the tag. Okay, I do try to go as close to one end as I can, and then go across the tag so that I have the majority of it coming out one side of the tag. I don't go right in the middle. And the reason for that, is this one going to fit? Yes. The reason for that is then when I cut it off, I often have
a strip long enough to use again to make another one. If I go right in the middle, I end up with a tiny bit cut off on one end and a tiny bit cut off on the other end, and not long enough to use either end. Although there's some little ends that are kind of chunky that are perfect for doing the corners at the beginning and the end. And we don't have any circles in there. About a piece of red. These are actually the perfect size for most tags, but little tiny tags, I think I like the thinner little strips for, because if they're thicker, you can get less strips on the tag, and so it doesn't make for as much variety and pretty tagness.
Okay, I have 2 ready for.
Cool. Here, let me put you on and you show.
Well, it's a lot smaller because I didn't put the extra page in.
Cool. That works.
This is the front cover on this one.
Oh, pretty. I like it.
And then this is the back cover, wherever what you want to call it.
Yeah.
We got our let's see, a pocket and a side pocket and a corner.
Cool.
So we put one belly band in and a pocket.
Cool.
Side pocket, another belly band, a corner, and a pocket, and then we're back.
I like that foil paper too.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it is. Very cool. So is that 2 or 3 that you've already knocked out today?
Did I just show you the first one again instead of the new one?
No, didn't the first one have a rocking horse on
Yeah,
it?
the first one had a rocking horse on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one had the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I just saw it. Yeah, that's 2 finished and ready for tags.
Okay, hang on. I got to go back here and read some comments.
Oh, Sarah's talking. Where was that place?
I'm going way back. Let's see.
Laura.
Try sliding it under the cover now and see if it will hold with the extra piece in there. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's a good idea, Margie. Just reverse it, because the magnet's on here and there. It doesn't even matter that there's so much thickness between it. That still holds. Great idea. Very cool. Embellish, Tossum, you can do it. I would purchase a 4-pound pack of scraps. My scraps are separated by color and size. I love creating with scraps too, Sylvia. I do. I could spend a whole week. Let's have a whole week retreat where all we do is create with scraps. That'd be a blast.
Well, 2023 is coming.
Yeah. We'll call it a scrap retreat.
Sounds good.
So buying scraps once, that was years ago, and you still have some. That's funny. Never will buy other people's scraps again, even if it's a craft shop, which is what it was. Have to head up. Oh, bye, Laura. I love scrap packs too. Love it. Okay, Sheila. See, that's the thing, Sheila, especially, and if you have a lot of them, if you trade scrap packs with somebody else, you get different paper. You get different scraps, which is fun. Totally.
Well, we did that scrap swap, what, a year ago or so?
We did. Yeah. Probably close to 2. Yeah, some places sell bags full of scraps or by the pound. So yeah, if you want to get rid of your scraps, send them to Sheila or to Sylvia. Let's see. 2 bins of scraps and overflow. Yeah, but sometimes don't you just want to look at somebody else's scraps, Sylvia? Because they're just, they're different. They're not the same ones you've been looking at all the time.
Oh, when I go visit Laura, I take her scraps.
Go through her scraps, yeah.
She offers them to me.
Yeah, well, you know, everything we make, I'm always throwing stuff into the scrap bin. So I can go into the scrap bin and look at scraps from things that I made 2, 3, 4 years ago. And I haven't touched that paper in a long time. So I thoroughly enjoy that. I really enjoy taking all the little bits and pieces and making stuff. Okay, so I just cut off that one edge. I will throw those away. I will throw those away, Margie. And this right here. And this is why I try to get one edge all the way over. And then I let them all come out the other side. So those are going in the trash. And then there's this. And some of these are really small. Most of them are large enough that I'll just pick them up and make the next tag. And just with the scraps, you can have tags to embellish the whole folio or book that you just made. Okay, like a scrap like this is great for covering a corner. So if I'm going to make tags right now, I'll hang on to that. Look how cute that little reindeer face would be in a corner. If I'm not going to use them right now, I'll just throw these away. But right now, these are, if I'm making them, those are good enough to use. So let me chuck those little tiny ones. Gonna grab another one, and actually, I'll usually have 2 or 3 down at a time, and be doing more than one tag at a time. Those are little tiny banner pieces, aren't they, Sheila? Yeah. And see, if I'm continuing to work with scraps right now, you can take those little banner pieces and put them on one of these guys that's got cute little pattern and make little banners and pennants and things. And those are cute to embellish these tiny little folios with. This guy is going to be, let's see, where's he going to go? I want his face on the corner. It's not going to work on that. It'll have to go up on this corner. Okay. Well, let's see. So now I'm just looking for, well, this guy can work here. Okay. Not that one. And when I'm doing large tags, I'll get about halfway up the tag, and then I will stop and I will cut these all off, because the part that's sticking out is perfect for doing the next half of the card. And so there's some cohesion throughout the card on a large card. And I love the branding strips. They'll have, sometimes they have color on them. Sometimes they have words on them. Some authentic ones have quotes on them. I love those. Sometimes they'll have the name of that paper line collection. Those are fun. Oh, almost got that up too far. Try to get right to the edge of the paper, but then I almost forget that this tiny little corner here has to go way down the edge of the paper. So can't forget that. I could pull out my strip. I have a scrap bin that is just strips. And I'll take that out while we watch TV or something and just sit there on a TV tray making these. And like, all I do is just look for something that's, in the same color family. I don't care what paper brand it is or anything. And they always work perfectly. They always do.
I have one I keep for wider strips that I use for making, because I like making page edgings.
Yeah.
The edging clusters, I don't know what they're called. I call them page edgings.
Yeah.
So I have the wider strips I use for that. I love doing them.
Cool. I don't know, Sylvia, is it, Sheila, is it just that feeling of satisfaction of using the strips? and knowing that you just didn't throw it away, but you actually found a way to use it, that, you know, that paper didn't get the best of me. I don't know. Why is it that it's so satisfying to us to use up the scraps? Let's see if either of these are long enough to go right here. By a hair, not quite. Okay, I'm running out of, because I haven't cut very many of those, running out of this exact same scrap already. Oh, I cut that one. Ski Wampus. Now, it doesn't have to go all the way across. Sometimes, especially on the larger tags, I will take one and go halfway and then pick up another strip and go the other half of the way. And the only thing about those is I like them to be the same width, so then the next strip will fit in nice and tight to it. Because it drives me crazy if it doesn't, and then there's a gap. So let's put this one here. Glue is drying up. This one had big old reindeer faces right down the middle. Oh, I could weave them. Yeah, that's a good idea. That would make cute tags too. All pretty paper must be used. All my journals have scraps turned into art, especially morning pages covered with the color of the day. Oh, yeah. For masterboards, I'll use some bigger scraps, but I'm not a person with good patience and would go crazy doing tiny things. Love making paper, and scraps are great for that, too. Yeah. Weaving them is a great idea, too. Just turn them into a whole new piece of paper or a whole new piece of art. I love that, Sylvia. I finally got around to trying an art journal page that uses just some torn up magazine pages and then like some gesso and some Stabilo and no paint. It's Candy did one a while ago. We saw this video that Karen Tamir had done, and I finally just got around to doing it, and I really, really enjoyed it. And it's a mixed media page without getting out a bunch of paint and all the other stuff. And I'm not finding anything long enough. I didn't make enough scraps here. Didn't make enough scraps. Well, I can get this one with the little guys here.
Sheila and Sylvia, I would love to put in an order for handmade paper.
Ooh.
Let me know when some's ready and I can buy it.
Ooh. Are you guys talking about blending it up and making handmade paper out of it?
They're talking about using little scraps, so it'd have to be.
Oh, paper pulp and making all new. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Sheila. You get that going and make some. I'll buy some from you too.
I have first dibs.
All right. Sheila, I'll trade you for some new stuff that you want from the store.
Oh,
does that give me first dibs?
dirty.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying, Glynis. Oh, funny. All right. This one is, let's see if that's wide enough. Oh, but just by a hair, it's not wide enough to cover just that tiny little edge. So there we go. That one is. Okay. All right. Let's see if we've got anything long enough to take care of this one. If not, maybe I'll just have to start.
Bye, Julie.
Bye, Julie. That's crooked.
I can't cut straight. That's for darn sure. This will make a good background to put something red on top of it for Christmas as an embellishment. That's what I'm thinking. That's not quite long enough yet. I need another scrap of this. I cut it past, so let me just take that off as a scrap. I knew I cut past my mark, and so it was just hanging out there. So I could do that. There we go. Okay, so we can take one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and cardstock and make a whole mini folio out of it. And then we can take the scraps and mass make some tags that can go with that or with anything else. These Christmas tags could go with anything Christmas. Let's see. Maybe this one will go right here. I'm still going to have a little corner there. This guy can go in the little corner. Great ways to use up scraps. But the past few weeks as I've been making things, instead of just tossing these into my strip scrap bin, which I typically have, I've just made these tags really quickly with them. And now I've got a whole stash of tags ready to go. Instead of having to schedule a time to sit down and make tags. And they match whatever I just made. And I didn't add more strips to my strip scrap bin. So it worked out really, really well. So some of these are still long enough to use nicely. They're all big enough to throw into the blender to make pulp out of. Oh, maybe we'll have to do that one day.
I don't intend on buying a blender, so.
So you'd rather just buy the paper?
I want to buy the paper.
Oh. It can be a little bit of a mess. I do have a blender specifically for that, though it's not my kitchen blender.
I should hope not.
But it's fun. Okay, so they're just like that. We got, what did we get? 3 tags, and there's still enough scraps here. See, these are large enough to use. Those are big enough scraps to keep and use for something else. But all these strips, there's enough strips and little pieces like that that can be cut into strips. Those are something else. To still do another tag or two. Christmas tag or two. So, yeah.
And you could cut them in thirds and put them in your little folio.
Absolutely. These little tiny ones will go in the folio anyway. That's why I have tag bases of blanks of all sizes.
Okay.
These will go in there anyway. But if they're like these big ones, yeah, I just would not cut the corner off and then do this and then just cut this into thirds or quarters and make little teeny ones like that. And maybe cut 2 corners if you want to. Or it could even be make a small one and goes right on a corner for a side or corner tuck. But yeah, at least I feel like I haven't wasted, using up the scraps. Fun. Okay, let's see here. Got a tub of paper somewhere I made, but no idea where. Uh-oh. Sheila, when you find it, let us know. Julie changed her mind. She's back. Oh, make shaker card pieces. Oh, yeah, you could do that, Sarah. Oh, that's funny. They will be pretty with Christmas ribbon, yes. To have patience for that strip thing. Yeah.
Oh, you don't have the patience for doing the strips on the cards like this. Another thing that you can do if you don't have the patience for the strips is take your scraps that are in like wider strips or chunks, and I'll do this, and I'll glue this down like that, and then I'll glue that one down like that, and it goes over. I know I'm going to cut it off, and then I'll take something else, and I'll glue this one like this, you know, and then another design, I'll glue it like that, and then this one like that, and then glue all these big pieces on, and you just end up with a collaged, you know, a nice straight lined collaged tag with those pieces. It doesn't have to be, that's a way to use the bigger pieces. It doesn't have to be the teeny tiny ones, but I always end up with all these little strips as offcuts, and it just seems like such a waste to throw them away. But it's also, I have a hard time sitting still to watch TV. I like to do it. I like to watch a movie with Doug, and I like to relax, but I have a hard time sitting still and not doing something with my hands. And so I can just grab a strip bin and some glue and scissors and a handful of tag blanks and sit there with a coffee tray or TV tray and make a bunch of these while watching TV. So then at least I feel like I've been productive and done something. It keeps me able to focus. Oh man,
that's the best.
The proper size piece of paper. Boom. There you go, Margie. Love y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us for another mass make. It was a lot of fun. Do post your pictures of your little bitty folios in the group. We would love to see them, all of them, decorated, not decorated, whatever they are. And if you made some scrap tags, if you mass made you some scrap tags, go ahead and post those as well. I might make a couple more with these that are sitting here. I still like a kid. Yeah, it is harder to see those little tiny guys. I have to take my glasses off and turn the bright light on, Margie. So, and don't forget to go to hppcreate.com and put your email in there, and then you will get an email back, that my welcome email, and it will give you the link to download your free digital masterboards. If you already have done it, then that email will be coming. There's a technical glitch. I need to call Shopify right now and get that worked through, and then they will push those out so that those who have already done it will automatically get the download link for those. Okay. So other than that, we are back here. Let's see, it's Thursday. We're back here for Saturday Night Live. That should be fun. Hopefully Glennis won't be coughing so bad anymore by Saturday Night Live. We haven't even talked about what we're going to do, so we'll think about that.
Will Candy be back by then?
Yes, she will.
Oh, good.
Yes, she will. Candy and Eric will be back by then. So,
I wonder if we can get Eric online doing something.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm sure he'd love to.
Because he likes working like with shaving cream and sprays and stuff.
He does like using those things. Maybe we should think of something fun like that he'd like to do. It's fun watching somebody else's kid, your grandkid, getting a mess. Huh?
Yeah.
So it's not ours to clean up.
It was my idea.
Yeah. Okay. Of course not. She'll just think it was mine anyway. How rude. Oh, great to see you guys. And thanks for all your well wishes. And Glennis, hope you get feeling better soon.
Every day's been better.
Yes. We'll see you all Saturday night for Saturday Night.